Hey everyone, it's about time that we talked about Raising Steam by Terry Pratchett. This is the 40th book in the Discworld series and I had great expectations for this. Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed. Let me tell you why. Raising Steam centers around the character of Moist von Lipwig, who we've already met in Going Postal and Making Money. So Moist von Lipwig is not the most honest character in the world. He calls himself a scoundrel and he's looking back at his past where he made a lot of money with scams and cons and whatever. But one day he was caught by Lord Veterinary, and that's in the other books, and now he's in the hands of Lord Veterinary and he makes use of him whenever he wants to. So this happens in Raising Steam as well. The steam engine and the locomotive are invented and Lord Veterinary wants to know what's going on there and he wants to make sure that things go his way. So he sends Moist to take care of things. And that's one part of the story. How the railway comes to Ankh-Morpork and to Discworld in general, connecting different parts of the world and bringing people together and creating new ideas in others. And that's a part I really thought was very slow narrated. The ideas behind it were great, but the story around it was rather slow and boring. I don't really know, it didn't pick up, it didn't draw me in. However, this book didn't only focus on one main story, it had another story going on, which I thought is unusual for a Pratchett book. Normally he focuses on one story, one character, or one group of characters. But here we also have the dwarves of Uberwald having kind of problems with the traditionalists and the Grags. They are opposed to all the modern things that are going on. The Grags and the Delvers are manipulating or sabotaging the railway and the Clacks. And of course Lord Veterinary cannot have that. So in general I felt the story was a little bit torn. We talked about the railway, but we were not part of the story. We were just narrated the story. The same with the dwarves. We were not in the middle of the story, we were just narrated it. And it felt a little bit like sitting on the outside. Another thing that I didn't really like, it's not a bad thing, but just for me, it wasn't the perfect thing. That there were so many characters. I do like that when I know I read a book about the Watch that I have Vimes in the center of the story. And that when I read about Moist von Lipwig that I have him in the center of the story. And halfway through the book, Commander Vimes comes in with his troops and he stays till the end. Necessary for the story, not a bad thing, but it was just too many characters in my point of view. And I didn't really like that about this book. It kind of made the story not flow. I can't really explain it, but I didn't really love the story. I wasn't sucked into it. It was slow and it took me a long time to read, especially for a Pratchett book, which I normally read in 2 days the first time around. Having said that, there are of course all the little gems that you find in a Pratchett book. You have the footnotes, you have the little criticisms that he puts up there for society, and he constantly holds up a mirror to face our world and tell us through Discworld what's wrong here and what he thinks is not working out right or what he thinks is going on. And there are a lot of these moments here and I thought it was very well done and I really liked the ideas and the things that he made me think about, and I really like that. And that's what I love about the Discworld series, that he always makes me think about our world with the eyes that he puts on Discworld. And that's what I love and why I recommend everyone to read Discworld, because it makes you look at our world in different eyes. Oh, and one more thing that confused me in this novel is Lord Veterinary. I thought he was a little too open, a little too friendly and vulnerable. And I'm not sure if this is because I've been reading all the old novels where his character just is growing and beginning, or because it's really off in this novel. So if you've read Raising Steam and you know Lord Veterinary and his character, please let me know if you had the same feeling or if I'm just off here. And if you haven't read Raising Steam, don't start with this book in the Discworld. It has a lot of references to past novels and you need a lot more than just the Moist von Lipwig series to understand all the references that this book offers, which of course is a nice part for the fan.